Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to this reviews where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Jonas Sjöström titled AZTECA. And if we switch over to here, we've got the single art for the track on Music B as well as the song, which we're going to listen to from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go! Ah, nice bass response to come in there. Is there some filtered orchestral drums over top of the, or underneath the, strings on the sides and the vocals in the center? A way to start. It's a fantastic reverb tone on these vocals as well. The production is solid. Is this more like of an Aztec kind of vibe, like given the art and everything like that? Lovely natural vibrato to those vocals actually. The sing is solid, great technique. It's an interesting decision to have this organ in here as well. I like it. I wasn't expecting it. Kind of had almost a spiritual kind of ethereal nature to it. I mean, it's a long form track, nearly 6 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how we use this this real estate, you know? I'm really glad that we had this percussion come in here. It was starting to lose me a little bit. Not because it's written poorly, not because I'm not enjoying the overall coloration, textures, and tonalities of the track. And I was thinking, if this hadn't come in, if that percussion hadn't come in there, I kind of would have understood it enough to have started to slowly kind of lose interest. I'm glad that we've had this additional sort of development here. It's a sort of more of a, it's a quicker groove to it. Had a sense of pace and urgency to it. Great B section. And they work on the strings there. It's a different groove from the legato whole tones or whole notes we had before. I think this would work great for film soundtracks, you know? Oh. Okay, and those like flourishes with the strings going up into the high register for this A-B structure we're going on here in this mid part with the percussion is a smart move. It's a really smooth transition there. It's nice to have the drums going into this halftime feel here. Slowing down those tom and snare bits. Well, not really, they're still quick, but you know what I mean, it's a halftime feel. The pace is, yeah, you know. Oh. But that feel was adept. And these almost operatic vocals here are sensational. I like how they're staged way over the rest of the mix. That gives them their own sort of sense of presence, especially when the mid to lows get a bit busier. It's nice to get some of those parts that can go higher to go higher. Frequency rise. I haven't really heard the bass until now. The bass is nice and pleasant. Really unusual way of voicing ourselves in this lead section here. It's definitely almost more of a melodic device than storytelling. And that's fine. I mean, I don't know the language that this is being sung in, so it's difficult for me to establish whether it is through composed or not, like an instrumental or not. It's definitely not, because I think we are telling a story here, I just don't understand it. It's a difficult position for me to be in here because I, on one hand, can understand the incredible amount of work and precision involved with the musical performances, you know, on the various instruments. This is not and the arrangement is spectacular, and the vocal performance is scintillating, and the production is top notch. I don't know what it is for me that's stopping it from, like, connecting with it further than simply an analytical perspective, you know? I mean, I don't have a proven disinterest in it. I think Jonas Sjöström has made a great track here. And I like the polish of that bass in the mix. Yeah, okay. Because this is the conclusion of my review of Jonas Sjöström's AZTECA. What do I want to say about this? I mean, I think that this song was about that kind of Aztec vibe. You know, music from that civilization, what it would have sounded like, that combination of sort of tribal elements alongside the spiritual aspects. It was a wonderful journey that we went on with the song and the music, despite there being a lack of vocals. But I can understand how this would fit the Aztec kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's the reason I said that I think this would work well for like cinematic or a video, you know, movie music is because it would. I think absolutely. I mean, like, again, I'm not sure if, you know, what was being sung in there. There were wonderful melodies, and if I understood the language, maybe I would have formed more of a connection to it. But at the same time, I think maybe how do I say this? I enjoyed it regardless. You know, the vocalist, the singer in this track showed splendid technique. Definitely knew their way around a microphone. Phenomenal range to their voice. You know, those lows and high sections. I'd say that'd be about 3 octaves. You know, that's a good amount. That's a good amount of octaves to have in your belt when you're singing, especially when you've got to have range to cover a wide variety of different instruments in a mix. I think that Jonas Sjöström chose the right singer for the job here. I am hoping that the lady vocalist, whoever they are, is proud of their performance too. You know, they deserve all the best. I think they definitely sold it. They had slightly different ways of approaching different lines, and I think that was meant to indicate different emotions or connections to that. But just the flawless chest-to-head voice there, as well as the ornamentation with legatos and vibrato passages and stuff. It was just, with an occasional little bit of vocal fry there, it was absolutely splendid. The structure of the track, I'm thinking that it's probably through composed. We didn't have any sort of stable choruses or verses. Not least, I think, because it would have been difficult for me to ascertain if that was the case, primarily because of a lack of like clear vocal direction there. At the same time, I think that works best with these pseudo instrumentals. You know, like we had development there. You know, we had sort of the string parts and piano and drums and bass come in and vocals, and we had the orchestra drums at the start, and there was so much to appreciate, not just from a structural and arrangement perspective, but also the instrumental performances I mentioned were absolutely spectacular. You know, there was not a single note out of place. I cannot stress that and emphasize that enough. Even if I am not super duper excited and vibing with the track, that does not necessarily mean that it's been poorly made. I'm going to be thinking about this track for the rest of the day and wondering why I feel the way I do, which is I almost feel ambivalent. to it. Maybe it's because I don't have a personal connection to the atmosphere that is trying to be created here, but I can nonetheless respect and appreciate it. I think that the instruments that were chosen were authentic to the sound that I think when you think of the AZTECA can kind of match to. You know, I can imagine this being used in big film studios and stuff like that for scores behind the music. I think it's wonderfully mixed and mastered as well. I mean, the production, the recording, mixing, mastering is sensational. There's not a single layer that needed to be reduced, or, you know, like it was honestly damn near flawless. And I think that's basically it. This was a near flawless performance. You know, I don't really think we could have changed anything to make it better. I just think as a listener, I don't have a personal connection to it, so I can't really become more excited than I am appreciative and respectful and understanding of the work that was involved. You know, the EQing, stereo processing, fixed panning, and there wasn't a lot of modulation on the different instruments. It's a fairly, you know, analog acoustic performance, if that makes any sense at all. The compression limiting was done incredibly well. You didn't have any pumping in it, lots of dynamic range in there. AZTECA by Jonas Sjöström is an absolute success, in my point. I look forward to Jonas finding people who can appreciate his music and vibe with it. I think that if Jonas can find practical uses for this music outside of uploading to digital streaming platforms, I'm sure they'll find further success. But thank you very much for watching this review of Jonas Sjöström's AZTECA. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Jonas Sjöström some love via their various social medias. And I'm sure these are on major digital streaming platforms and all that kind of stuff. And stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. As either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.